take lemons and make lemonade. We make homes out the beds we made. I heard that there's forgiveness for anything, but if I ain't sorry, how can I be sane?
Disclaimer. I'm gonna be talking about some heavy stuff. I just want y'all to know, everybody not gonna agree with me. The intention behind this is not for you to necessarily agree with me, but really to give you something to think about on a deeper level than what we normally do. With that being said, some of the things that I might say might offend you. It's very possible. So I just pray that you can hear what I'm saying in the spirit and accept it how you will.
I wanna be the very.
I'm not gonna
do. Okay.
Doom 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 doom. Doom.
You're a psychopath.
Boom 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 boom. Hi guys. That was comic singing Pokemon, but not really singing it.
Pokemon, like
he was trying to boom, you know what I'm saying. What's up, guys? We here. It's Comic Sans.
Sheesh.
That's what she said. What's up, guys? Let's go back. All right. Woo! Bring it in. What it do? What it do, baby?
I knew it was gonna happen.
Alright, what's up, y'all? It's Comic Sans. We here, man. It's been a cool little week. You know what I'm saying? If y'all knew what day we was recording these, then you would say, no, it hasn't. But it's been a cool little week. You know, by now you probably, you know what I'm saying, getting ready for, no, this episode's probably going to come out after that. So, you're not getting ready for Thanksgiving.
Turkey Day?
Because it's over already.
Turkey Day?
It's over. We about to talk about family, though. Because the episode that we did about Thanksgiving kind of prompted me to want to speak on the family and how important it is to really be in a family unit, an actual supportive family unit. Where do you want to go with this?
I think family's needed. Nice basis for your kids would be great. I'm actually gonna pick up where it kind of left off before things went sideways. Didn't have a father in the household. You feel what I'm saying? Okay. You just.
See?
This was the moment I needed.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stop. But no, in all seriousness, and then not having a father in the household. If you're in a hood situation or a ghetto environment, if you will, it will prompt you to be outside because it's one of those things. As weird as it sounds, it's that collective trauma that kind of brings people together. Like, I don't got a dad. Homies don't have a father either. Or they have somebody. They have a placeholder, if you will. It's not the actual father. So it's like it prompts you to. I honestly feel like that's one of the many reasons why, like, as much as people hate on gang culture and the things that it perpetuates, that's why you're cool with those people. You struggle. You don't have a father in the household either. You got a single mom. And y'all all trying to take the place of the father that you don't have.
So is it kind of like a thing where they realize that that's happening though, or is it kind of like a
yes and no? In certain senses, I think that's the difference between somebody that does it till they're like, I think that's the difference between somebody that does it from 15 to 18 compared to somebody that does it from like 30 to 35. Like if you still 30, 35, you might be on the block selling drugs or whatever you do, but you might be doing it literally just because that's what you're comfortable doing. There are those now that are on that are on the plot or the plan of I gotta get better, I gotta get out. And their mama don't make enough, so you can't go do this, you can't go do that. So in that 15 to 18 gap, I think so. I think anything outside of that is just a conscious choice. At some point, a conscious choice.
Okay. Me growing up, kind of like at the beginning of my, you know what I'm saying, life. I had both parents. I started to notice some frictions that they didn't think I would pay attention to, but I noticed things, and when they split up, it bothered me a lot. You know what I'm saying? And so from that, you would think, you know, I guess I wasn't affected in the way that most people are. It bothered me, and I acted it out in certain ways, but that was a heavy sneeze. Thank you. But I was never like outside. You know what I'm saying? Like it was always like, okay, kick it. Okay, treat somebody funny because you're mad. You know what I'm saying? You're upset today, type thing. And so it took a lot for me to get over that. But the irony of it is, I had very close people to me, to where I was able to speak on it frequently, and they understood where I was coming from. One of my closest friends at the time was Divine, and we used to sit on the phone for hours, like day in and day out, just talking about just stuff. Some stuff was nonsensical, you know what I'm saying? We had a lot of anime talk, but then it was like when it was real, it was real. You know what I mean? She was very instrumental in helping me get over it and get past that. I had my Uncle Charles, who acted very much so like a second father, you know what I'm saying, in that situation where I didn't feel like I could communicate with my father effectively, to get him to understand where my feelings were coming from, you know what I'm saying. There's a lot of people. I had a support system, you know what I'm saying, like I had a support system. And so the reason that was so big to me is because if I didn't have that, I probably would have resorted to certain things. There was people in my school that was pulling me in certain directions. You know what I'm saying? And so it was like if I was easily impressionable by that, I wouldn't probably be making this podcast. Me and you would have completely different conversations.
Sure. Even to that end though, I feel like that exists, but I feel like the small act out, I feel like all that, I feel like that's it, but that's it in like its infancy. Not having that system, or having a system like that, but having a system where it's not necessarily understood. Because like you said, you had a system where they understood, where they could not necessarily empathize with you, like completely get it, but sympathize with you and like, okay, cool, this is what his life's like. I think in its own weird sort of way, the streets kind of do that for people, because it's like the OG that you got that's up here, he 25, 26, he done lived a full life. He ain't had no father either, so he understands that. Like he sympathizes with you, but it's also the only thing that he knows. So that's his way of telling. That's literally his way of coddling you or bringing you comfort. Like he don't have no other. He don't know nothing else.
Oh wow. I can't answer this right now.
Yeah. Do you need to?
It'll be okay.
I was gonna say you need to cut.
One of the things that I think is detrimental is once we start to get older, we kind of fall into a place of these people were the heads of the family, and so as they age, we kind of fall into the place where we should be putting things together, right? But I feel like this generation of people is kind of like doing their own thing. Like they don't really, you know what I mean? Like it's not necessarily all about that. I remember when I was coming up, we was doing something with the family every other week. You know what I mean? And it has slowly evolved into I see you when I see you type thing. You know what I'm saying? Do you feel like that also plays a part and affects people? And do you feel like there's a reason that has come about?
That plays a part, and yes, it does play a part and affect people. I feel like it's come about as a directors of the collective trauma that everybody shares. If I ain't got no dad, he ain't got no dad, she ain't got no dad, whatever the case may be. Not only is it a further breakdown, but then that family closeness is not there. And then growing up, somebody like me, I didn't feel the need for it, because it's like my mama off, she working, she doing whatever she doing. I come from an older household too, so it's like my grandma there, and she looking over. She looking out. She watching over everybody when they not. So you're not OD. You're not just lying. Like you're not just.
Yeah.
But my mom's single mother, so she worked. Them you don't get to sit down. You don't get the deep conversation dinners. You don't get the how was school. You go home, you do your work, you do whatever, you feel what I'm saying? You do whatever you're supposed to do, or you do whatever you feel like doing. Because to a certain point, they're not going to watch over you like that. And then even then, if you come from a household with multiple siblings, I come from a household with one sibling, but if you come from a household with multiple siblings, or you come from a household where your close friend has about the same situation. The homie didn't have the exact same solitary situation, but he had something about that. Mm. Everybody kind of raising themselves.
And it's funny because I didn't have that until later on in my life. And so then it was almost funny how Elohim placed me around people who had, you know what I'm saying, similar situations. I didn't realize how many people grew up in homes like that. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? For me, it was like, what the heck is this? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But there are people that have lived with this since they were little, and mm-hmm. didn't understand. And so there was a resentment that had built up inside of them towards the other parent. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I had started to feel that way. Mm-hmm. And it took me a few years to kind of like, okay, this doesn't need to be there. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think that we're starting to get to a point where we feel like we don't need family.
Yeah.
Because family, not all family, but a lot of people have this notion that family do you dirty too. So it's like, just your day ones is all you need. Mm-hmm. And I could see that, you know what I'm saying? But I don't believe that. I think that people misunderstand. I think that they feel as though just because they're family, that doesn't mean they're people. Mm-hmm. And so the expectation on your family is obviously different, mm-hmm. which I understand, mm-hmm. But they're human. Mm-hmm. And so because they're human, they're not going to stack up to our specific expectations. There's just no way. Mm-hmm. That's not possible. Facts. So if we begin to look at them as more human, mm-hmm. I think that then the stigma would go away and we might be able to speak to families more frequently. Really get close to our family members and understand, you know, some of the stuff that they have to offer us, because they do have a lot of stuff to offer us. Mm-hmm. Just because a lot of people are stuck in their ways doesn't mean they don't have anything to offer you. Mm-hmm. That's how I feel.
I think that exists, but I think that exists in a vein where everyone has to kind of accept what the problem is, where the problem stems from, and then also on one side, if you were the person that feel like you were done wrong, you have to be willing to accept an apology if they present it to you. But then the person that the apology is being presented to, they have to understand their fault. Because like somebody like me, all that's there, and I don't feel like I need family, and I don't feel like I need family. But let me say, the only reason that I feel like family is technically valid is because of literally like y'all, like your physical, me being present in your situation is the only reason I feel like, because I have no idea what my father looked like. Couldn't tell you. Not a clue. And if he popped back up, don't give a fuck at this point. It's just like, I'm a fully grown adult. It's like,
I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I don't want him to get rid of that because that was really how you felt.
Like I don't care what it's like.
I understand. Like if you offended by the word, I'm sorry, but I want him to keep it because it gets to a point where it's like we have to kind of be raw with emotions. I'm not gonna say that, but but it's like
I'm a fully grown adult. Now what I will say is that I give credit to people like you. I give credit to people like my barber. Grew up in about the same situation, but he grew up north. So, but he's in like 40, 45 right now. But anytime kids, if kids pop by, if kids are on some like, oh, they mama gotta go to work, he tell them, y'all can sit up here, just don't break nothing, don't do nothing OD, don't do nothing crazy. Y'all can sit up here, I'm gonna be up here all day. Your mama pull back up. Y'all hear them being cut. If I'm up there, or if the kid wants something, depending out the little, he got like little candy machines and stuff.
He got the little turn joints.
Yeah. So he'll just, you feel what I'm saying? You drop him some candy or whatever, and you be like, hey, go sit down. Turn on something for him to watch. Like he gives them a space. So in that way, I'll say that people like you and people like him, they build that family feeling, if you will. You understand what it's like. You understand that people are flawed. You understand that things are not perfect. You understand conversations, like, it gives you that vein. But there are plenty of people that aren't getting that at home. There are plenty of people that don't get that when they go to other places. There are plenty of people like who share collective resentment towards family members, whether it be mother or father. Because I think that that's another. I think that becomes another problem too. That goes even further than just like you're in home. Fathers or mothers, in some cases, but more often than not, fathers get placed in this box of like, if you taking care of your kids, you're doing what you're supposed to do. There's no praise, there's no thanks on some ends. Like there's no happy medium being a father. If you're a mother, you fall in the vein depending on the circle. But if you're a father, it's either you doing what you're supposed to do, or oh my God, you're the greatest ever. You're actually handling your responsibility. It's a whole other problem.
And what's funny is a lot of people feel like you shouldn't get praised for things that you should be doing. So what's funny to me is that normally pertains to a man. Like that actual word choice and process of thinking pertains to men. Nobody says that to women. Nobody says, women, you should get paid. You shouldn't get praised for what you already doing or what you should be doing. Nobody says that when it pertains to women. It should just kind of like be accepted and understood. Oh, she's doing a lot. She got it going on. She this, she that. It's like technically everybody should be doing that, right? Yeah. So then it's like, does that mean we don't praise anybody for nothing because we're all supposed to be doing something good? No, we need to hear it. That's kind of what motivates us to continue or helps us to feel at peace about what we are doing. People go crazy from not feeling appreciated.
Yeah. This is what it is.
What would you say to somebody who's alienated themselves because they feel like their family love is not genuine and they don't know, you know what I'm saying, about people because their family has hurt them. Maybe a few people that they've been friends with have hurt them, and so they're just in a bad place.
It's actually really interesting that you say that because I ain't even finna say his name because if you do it, well, yeah. But I had a homie like that. If you feel that way seriously, one be honest with yourself because I think it's a couple of things that go into it. In the midst of your personal resentment, you will begin to just go start blaming other people. It happens, or first you'll internalize it and you blame yourself. You'll say whatever happens is a direct result of whatever you're doing. Even though traditionally you're brought into a situation that you have no physical control over. There was literally nothing you could have done. And that's fine. You need to accept that. But then also, once you accept that, look at what you can do to actually make it better. Like, my mom did whatever she could to, you feel what I'm saying, get us by. At a certain point, I wasn't a fan of that. We wasn't cool. Because it's just like, I feel like I need this structure in my life and you can't give me that structure, right? Whatever that structure may be for you or someone you know, have that open, honest conversation. Like, I can't remember what day that was. I can't remember the exact day, but I remember the year. It's like my 10th grade year or whatever. I was like, we just need to have like a God honest conversation. Like, if I'm doing this because I feel like I'm outside. Like, if I'm outside, I'm outside. I'm not at the house. I'm doing whatever I'm doing because I feel like this is missing. I feel like this is lacking. I feel like you're lacking in this area. Literally, this is not a joke. I told her, like, I feel like you're lacking in this area. I feel like I'm lacking in this area. This is what I feel like we need to do to grow, get better, and improve. Like, have those real honest conversations. Because
I can talk with my mom like that now, but there was no way that I was saying that to her while we was in this house specifically. There was no way I was doing that. You must be crazy. See,
but to that end, I told her the same thing, and I told everybody that felt like I was doing wrong.
No, I don't think you're doing wrong. I'm just saying, like, the way my brain would have. Yeah. Nah, I think we could just talk about this. She'll figure it out. Like, she got the Holy Ghost. She good. Like, freak.
I felt that way. I felt that way too. But then it was two things that went into it, and I told her, I was like, "You single mom, you doing whatever you doing. I didn't been outside. you don't really have control over the things that I do. If something happened to me, if I go out here, grace of God, I ain't been shot, hit, nothing, none of that. But if that happened, what you gonna do? I was being dead for real. I was like, if that happened, what you gonna do? Because you working, you doing whatever you're doing. You don't. Most of the people that I frequented on a daily basis, unless I introduce them to you, you don't know what they look like. Something happened to me for real.
She has no idea where to go or
Stuck.
see. But my mom was very hands on when it came to that, because she understood that there's a lot of stuff that she probably wouldn't know. So it's like, okay, if you're going somewhere, I need to know where the freak you're going, who the freak you're with, what time you will be there, and what time you will be back.
See, but that's the thing, right? To that end, it depends. I mean, it depends. I don't know what you can get into over here, so I'm not gonna say what life is and what life is.